I'm going to make a quick tutorial for custom models because people don't know how to do them, and it's pretty easy. You're going to need Maya, you're going to need both these plugins. I'll put them in the description or something. So you're going to want to go into game and rip the model that you want with Greyhound. You want to make sure in the X model settings that you get the SE model that you're going to use to import into Maya. So import the gun. This here is the CUDA. The names models don't match the gun names or the code names, but the CUDA is the AP9, and you want to get the LOD0 SE model and import that. So this is the gun model, and then you want to import whatever model you want to add onto it. I'm just going to go File, Import, and then I'm going to find where I save the model. And you can have an MB file, MA file, an OBJ file, that works with Maya really. Import that, and as you can see here, this is a mastercraft from one of the other games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through and delete every part of the actual gun and just keep the mastercraft by simply clicking on the part, expanding this, and just hitting delete until I get the parts I need. So once you've cut out all the parts you want, you might want different parts to be separate, because right now if I click the move tool and I select this, they all come together. So once you've got the part you want separated, some parts may be put together that you don't want. For example, if I click the end of the horns, all this is together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here, this is the model mesh, and I'm going to go make sure here it says rigging. You want to go mesh, separate, and it's going to separate into all the tiny little parts. Now this one is super fucking annoying because there's 300 of them. And what you're going to want to do is select all the parts of that you want to keep on its own. Select them all. Once you've got them all, just go mesh, combine, and then it will put it into one for you, which is now here. You don't need to do that. You can simply click on this, make sure you click the move tool here, and then you can move it and click and drag to move around the gun, and just position it how you want on the gun. I'm not going to make it look perfect right now because I don't think of this. Put it how you want. If you want to scale it, you can do so here, or you can use this and scale it this. Just click and drag. But yeah, so let's just say that this is how I want it. It's not, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'll leave it like that. If you want to use a custom material on it, you may need to look in the material settings for these. Depending on the model, some of them come with materials, some don't. If you get your model from a different mod game, they're going to have all the material info inside it, and you can rip the materials with it. But if you don't, then it's a lot easier just to add something to it. So if I look under, if I click on here, I right click, and I go down to material attributes. Well, cool. So if I click here and go hypershade, you can see all of the materials that are in the project. So as you can see here, all of these are CUDA ones, and then I get to here, and this is all of the different materials that were in the whole SORG that I used. Some of them won't be used because I deleted a lot of the SORG stuff. So click here, and I'm going to right click and go material attributes. See, this is the material for this part. Click here, material attributes, this is material for this part, and so on and so forth. So if you want to add your own material to each part, what you can do is go ahead and delete all of these. All of them. and now you see they don't have any materials on them. So what you want to do is on each of the parts like this, right click, go assign new material. I don't think these really matter, I just do fong whatever. This will be the name of the material in game and in ape and everything. And yeah, so now these all have the same material on it. If you want to do different materials for each part, you're gonna have to go through to each individual part, and in some cases you're gonna have to go through all of these individually and group them together and put materials to what you want. That would be super long, but yeah, for now I'm just gonna leave it like this. Wind this back together. Before you export your model, you're gonna wanna delete the joints. You only have one set of joints when you export. So these are the joints here for the CUDA that we imported, and here are the joints for the thing we imported for the model. So we're literally just gonna press delete on that, and then you get to export. Once you've got the model already, you're gonna go select, all, select, hierarchy. And you're gonna go Call of Duty tools, export X model, and then save it wherever you want it. So I'm gonna call it save as an X model bin, export selected, save changes if you want, you don't have to. Just gonna export it like this, and then when it's done, you're gonna want to load it into aight. So I'm gonna add the new asset, set it as X model, and when you put it in game, you want to put this as the actual weapon name. So for the CUDA, it's weapon B7 SMG AP9, something like that, but I already have one, so I'm just going to call it your horns for now. Select the LOD 0, find the model you just exported, X model bin, ape eventually loads, it'll be here. So as you can see, I applied one material to all of these just for the sake of the video. So what you're going to want to do is to texture this properly. If you want the actual materials from the Mastercraft, if you got it from a different COD, you're going to have to go through and rip all the materials that will all show here if you didn't do this, and rip every single image and all that shit, which is long. But if you want to just make your own custom ones like this, you can make a material called horns and do it that way. Or if you want, just set it as a color. What I do is just use the skin override and just search for the color and go through until you find one that looks good. Some have weird transparency issues which you have to look out for, like this. But for now, I'm just going to whack anything on it. Just whack a camo on it and boom. And yeah, this is literally that. So I'm just going to put it in game to show how it looks. So I'm going to delete my old CUDA quick. Okay, and now I'm going to rename this. Name of the model you first exported, which is 77 SMG. Save that. So I've just made a new mod. You can add it to an existing mod, of course. Just go edit zone file. You're going to want to add the model that you just exported and added. So you do X model, comma, then that link mod build. Gives you this warning or hundreds of warnings. Just ignore it, and then that's done. So now we've loaded the mod, loaded the game, and as you can see when you go and buy the CUDA, there you go. Obviously it doesn't look very good because I didn't bother making it look good. But yeah, that's how you do it, simple as that. Just make sure you use the SE model to import the weapon, otherwise when you add attachments it will just look stupid. Yeah, that's it. So cool. Quick thing to add at the end of the video, if you want to do custom zombie models, or I think anything that moves, zombies, zombie bosses, dogs, I don't know, shit like that, what you're going to want to do is, for example here, I ripped the zombie head model, just added a fucking egg to it. What you need to do for it to work properly is you want to open up the joints of the head or the body or whatever it is you ripped, Once you've got your model set up, here I've attached it to the head, so I find the head joint. I go through spine, neck, head, and then you want to select the model that you're adding and the head, or whatever joint you're sticking it to, and then you're going to want to go skin, bind skin. I got an error because I've already done it, but yeah, you need to do that if you want to do I think anything that moves pretty much, so anything other than guns mostly.